Hey guys, welcome back to Whalen Myers Old Iron. This video is brought to you by Vevor. Check them out, vevor.com, and I'll get back to that in just a minute. But first I wanted to talk to you about something. This is my old shop stool that I've been using around here for a long time, and it's missing a rung, and it's had a this leg was broken off, and it's been Whalen wired, man. It's had a Whalen wire repair, and it's got hose clamps and some round stock there kind of holding it together. And it's kind of pathetic, and yeah, it's about to fall apart. Kind of pathetic and a little more than a milking stool, really. Well, check this out. Look at this. This is something that Vevor sent over to me. And I'll tell you what, this thing is heavy duty. It is put together like Whalen would put together something. It's welded, and it's solid, and it's heavy duty, and I was pleasantly surprised at that. Now I'll tell you, I've been doing YouTube for 15 years, and I always said from the very beginning, I'll never try to sell you anything, and I'll never ask you for money. And that's true, but there's one other thing that I didn't mention. I will never endorse or recommend something that I wouldn't use myself. Well, I got this thing and I said, yeah, I'll give it a try. But the first thing I told the lady that contacted me was, and I can show you in the email, I value my subscribers, and if I don't like the product, I'm going to pack it up and send it back to you, because I won't endorse something that I don't believe in or that I wouldn't use myself. So she said, I don't think that's going to be a problem, and she was right, because this thing is it meets all my expectations. It's well built, and it's really nice. It's got this really nice seat on it, and it's comfortable, and I will be using this. So guys, check out Vevor. Go to vevor.com, and I was amazed at the broad range of products that they carry. I mean, it just goes on and on. It's home improvement, it's yard and garden, it's automotive, and it's restaurant supply, and I can't even think of all of them on the top of my head. So go to their website and check them out. Like I said, I've been approached many times, but this was the first time that they sent me a product or talked to me about something that I really felt like, yeah, I can use that in my shop, and I think maybe you can too. So check them out at vevor.com. Oh, one other thing too. When this seat extends, extends upward, and when it's in its upper position, well, guess what? It's just right for my project table. Why, I could overhaul a carburetor or work a jigsaw puzzle. So let's get on with the video.
Hey, welcome to Rat Rods. My name's Whalen Wire, and don't ever do what we do here on this channel.
Boy, we got a lot of work to do today. I hope you had a big breakfast. Yeah, you're going to need it. Okay, one of the things we got to do is finish up that bumper, the brackets underneath or behind it. I was wanting to get that video done. It's been a while since I got a video out. I need to get done, but I didn't have the brackets in and everything bolted up, so I just stuck the bumper bolts in there for the sake of the video, because I knew somebody'd comment, I ain't got no bumper bolts in there, holes in the bumper. And so yeah, I stuck them in there. Then later on, like a dummy, I forgot about it. I drove off and I lost two of them. I don't know, I may find them on my driveway when I go for a walk, you know. But anyway, I bought two more bolts, and so we got to get that bracketry finished up over there and get that bumper bolted down solid. What else? We got new pads and rotors we got to put on the front. We got my beauty rings came in. I thought I ordered hubcaps, but they weren't in the order, just the beauty rings. And I'll grab you off the post there, and I'll show you what I did, or what I decided. I love those Detroit steel wheels. I like the smoothies on these trucks. And I like the Del Reys, I think they're called. It's got those slots around the outside, kind of like these.
You know, when I see a car like this, first thing I do is I say, would you look at this? You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure. When I ordered the rings, beauty rings, what I did was I got some more narrow ones to expose more of that wheel, and I think you'll be able to see those slots better, and I think that'll look pretty good. Yeah, we gotta pop these off and get the new ones on. Look there, somebody left a lug nut loose. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna have to fire that guy that's working around here. Yeah, and some other stuff to do. I want to get out there, and I've got another bed. I got one of these beds out there, and I got to go out there with the tractor and pick it up and see if it's got good corners on it. I think it does. A lot of times they rust out in the front. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna go see if I can cut some out of that, and we need to address that rust. So yeah, I got a lot to do. Oh, there's some other upgrades coming along too. I had Harmon up here to try to adjust these doors, and this one's pretty good. Now, see what I mean? That's what it does. But anyway, he said your latches are wore out, and so I've got new latches coming. But I had one over there, that other one over there, the one I put on, I thought it was pretty bad out of adjustment because I had it completely off. And he came up and looked at it, and he goes, no, he said, you're just right, man. You're right on. It's nice and level. You got a good gap. Well, I said, Harmon, I can see daylight through this crack when I'm on the inside. And he said, well, get in there and put your knee right there and give that thing a yank. And so I did, and it closed it up. So, you know, he's been doing it since 1964, I think. So anyway, yeah, we've got to get some new latches, and I've got the new felts to go in there, and we'll take care of that. And I think I got some new guides here for the front too. And I went to the upholstery shop and talked to him yesterday about fixing this, and he's going to repair this. I'm going to take the seat out and take it down to him when to put the carpet in, which should be here Wednesday, and the dash cover. And today's, hey, that's tomorrow. Wow, more time flies when you're old. So yeah, a few upgrades, and I think it's going to be a sweet little truck. Well, it is already, but it's going to be even sweeter. So I'm going to see if I don't knock my glass of tea off over there. I'll close the door. There we go. Boy, he did good, didn't he? All right, let's get busy.
Hey guys, Dan here, DD Speed Shop. In today's video, we're going to be taking this 1963 Impala 2-door and turning it into a 4-door. So buckle up for the next 48 hours, because we're going to give her, and we'll be golden.
Well, of course, I left my lug nut lock up there in the glove box. Ah! Most of you guys know that I'm an idiot. Some of you may not have realized to what degree of idiocracy I have achieved or attained. How would you say that? Attained. So I'm about to show you. As DD Speed Shop said one time, let's just bask in my ignorance for a minute. So that's what we're about to do. I already pulled this from shop today, and I noticed when I put this thing together the other day, I was so excited to get those pretty new painted wheels on there.
I didn't even finish putting the shock. It's kind of dark in here, but I'm pretty sure you can see that the ignorance is running rampant in here. Yeah, I didn't even fasten the shock, so it'll probably ride even better. I was bragging about the ride, you know, so it'll be so good I probably can't even stood it. Okay, onward and upward. Both batteries are dead. Some days you just can't win. It looks like fairly new grease in there. That's a good sign. About halfway through here, not even halfway through getting these rotors swapped out, but it's starting to get dark. It's going to be dark 30 pretty soon, so I better go out there, and I want to go check out that bed I got out there and see if I've got any good corners that I can put in there. That would be sweet. All right, let's go. That one is. Nah, they're both rotten. I should have known. But you can buy those. They're pretty cheap. Alright. Let's talk about this truck. 1969, I believe. GMC cab over. It's got the big V6 in it, the 351. The V12 I've got is equivalent of two of these. Of course, there's a misconception that the V12 is two of these engines coupled together. It is not. It is one block with four heads. But I think there's about 12 different parts that would interchange with this engine and the V12. The heads, water pump, that sort of thing. I got this truck because I was thinking about using that frame and everything for the V12 build, and then I changed my mind, and it's got this cab over steering setup, you know, which is cool if I wanted to put the engine behind the cab, and some guys do that. People always send me pictures of a truck like that that's got the V12 hanging out the back, and it's cool. But that's not what I wanted. So this truck needs a home. It's got all good glass in it, looks like. A friend of mine came over to get it, but he brought a knife to a gun fight. His trailer was too little, and I'd sent him the wheelbase and the measurement from the front tire to the back of the back tire and everything, but he still brought the trailer too little. So he couldn't take it home, and then he backed out. I mean, he had some issues come along, family, wife had some health stuff going on, and I understand, but this truck needs to go. It needs a home, and it runs. We drove it home off of Badger Mountain, and she's going to get heap steep here pretty soon. Well, ran when parked, you know how that goes, but no, I bet I can, 20 minutes I have this thing running again. Just need to hook up a clickety clack and fire it up, you know. But It would make a really good hay truck. It's got a huge long bed on it. It's a long wheelbase. That would haul a lot of hay, man. That'd be just great to put around out in the field and haul hay with. But of course, I guess people don't do that anymore. I guess they do it all by machine, you know. But if anybody wants this rig, it's free for the taking. I'm not going to use it. I paid $700 for it, but that's my mantra: buy high and then give it away. If I was going to use it, I'd slam it. I'd slam that sucker on the ground. I'd have that bumper about 2 inches off the ground. But it's fun. It's fun to drive and everything. Yeah, it looks like all the glass is good. Got those nice mirrors on there, West Coast mirrors. Well, on this side anyway, I don't know what's on the other side. I think it's different. Now that I've said that, but anyway, yeah. If somebody wants this truck, or you know, it'd make a great hot rod engine, rat rod engine, because you don't see those engines around anymore. And if you want something unique, that big old V6 hanging out there would do the job. So hit me up in the comments if anybody's interested in this truck. But don't waste my time or yours if you're not serious. Well, the battery died on my GoPro, or it just shut off. Every GoPro I've ever had does that. It just take an ocean and just shut off. Those bearings had new grease in them, looked to me like, but I repacked them anyway while I was there, you know. And yeah, I packed them right in the palm of my hand. I kind of like doing old stuff, old school, you know. I ain't no big hurry here. I ain't going to the races or anything. I got nowhere that I have to be. So I like doing stuff, a lot of stuff old school, because it reminds me of working with my dad and how he did things and how I learned that from him, and those are good memories. And I just, yeah, I just enjoy it. I enjoy packing wheel bearings in the palm of my hand. If I had a whole fleet to maintain, well, I guess I do, don't I? What have I got? 14 titles, something like that? I don't know. I got to touch these wheels up a little bit because the new beauty rings that I got don't go near as deep in here. And I didn't do a real good job painting them out here because I don't know how they can show anyway. But I'm gonna fix it. Posted a little video on Instagram when I was painting these wheels. I had these cards stuffed in there like that. Somebody commented and said, yeah, old playing cards work good too. I don't know. Just telling you what it said. When my little boy was 4 years old, that little boy's 36 now, but when that little boy was 4 years old, I took him to see Dick Tracy at the theater. And on the way home, he was real quiet, just riding along, and then he says, you know, Dad, when I think about that movie, I can still see it in my think. And so my grafting crew, we got a lot of mileage out of that for years and years. They'd say, Ken, we'd be thinking about the next job, what job's coming up next or whatever, and they'd say, Ken, what do you see in your think? You know, so this is what I see in my think. I think this section right here, down the side of this truck, should be about the same color as these wheels. Maybe the color of these wheels, and then these wheels just a shade darker. Might look pretty good, you know. I don't know. We'll see. You guys let me know what you think about that. Yeah, I kind of like that. That's those other rings were really really deep. Plus, they're all beat up. They're all beat up, and one was missing. But these are really deep, and they just kind of allows those spots to show a little better. And I kind of like that a little better. There's that permagran. Had a spare tank, swapped them out last night. They both dry. Anyway, yeah, this is becoming my going to town rig right here. Most of you probably are already subscribed to Motor Trend on Demand, or maybe some of you don't know about it, but if you don't, it's like $5 a month or $7 a month. It's not much. It's got all the car shows, and it's got Dirt Every Day, and it's got the Roadkill shows, and it's got Faster with Finnegan, and just on and on. There's a whole list of them. I don't know. I enjoy it. I think it's well worth the money. But it's going to be a new show this fall. I think next month. Well, by the time you see this month, September, I think it's coming out on there. So here's the deal. This fella right here.
And we're gonna shoot over and pick up old Waylon wire over there. He does some cool stuff, rat rods, hot rods. I think the license plate just fell off. 6 years old anyway. So Waylon, let's see if that V12 doesn't burn out, or maybe you got something else. I don't know.
Early on, before he became a big star and had 1 million subscribers, I told a friend of mine, I said, this guy's gonna wind up with his own TV show. And boy, I'm thrilled that he has gotten that, and I'm happy for him. I think he's a very deserving guy. I just admire the father that he is, and just the man that he is, and I wish him all the best, all the success in the world. I'm really excited to see the show. I think he's going to be doing what he does, you know, reviving old rigs and putting them back on the road. So pretty cool. Anyway, obviously I'm a fan. So there we go. There's that. Now let's get busy on this thing. Well, it's a good thing that I decided to do this. Take a look at those shoes, or lack thereof. I mean, they weren't down far enough to ruin the drums or anything, but they're down far enough I want to get rid of them. Well, my GoPro keeps heating up and shutting off. But anyway, I got this side together, and I don't have too many parts left over, so I'll move on to the other side. All right, I've got one more kind of a dirty little job to do, a difficult one anyway. It's proven to be so far. Well, I got this thing on the lift, and yeah, one more thing to take care of. But this thing doesn't have a gasket. It just has a flange built into the pipe, and then it has a donut shape cast into the manifold, and it just sucks up against it. Well, it's not it's not fitting up just exactly right. So there's a little crack on one side where exhaust is leaking, and I hate exhaust leak. It just sounds terrible. So I had a friend up here, and he was prying against it with a pry bar while I tightened them up, but it never did get just exactly right. And this being connected back here, it makes it a solid piece. And so one of them's tweaked a little bit or something. So I'm thinking about heating this up and somewhere here and seeing if that'll relax that enough to pull it up in the right place. So yeah, I guess I'll do that. I'll let you know how that comes out. It's kind of hard to get a camera in here close enough to see anything and get a torch in here too. It's pretty tight quarters, so I'll probably just do this by myself. I'll let you guys help me on the next thing. Okay, I think that does it under the hood for tonight anyway. It's 10 o'clock. I made pretty good time. I got quite a bit done. I didn't take long to do the belts and hoses, but I think it was a good idea, don't you? Oh man, that thing's right on the money. It's just clear as it can be. Nice new hoses, man. Finally got me something nice. Well, this is just a dry fit. Boy, that's gonna be nice. Okay, I'm gonna shut her down for tonight. And you guys better get to bed and get some rest. Because we got a big day ahead of us tomorrow. We got a carpet to put in, pull this seat. Well, first thing I gotta do is clean up this shop, put all my tools away, and then clean up my mess and then make another one. That's how it goes, isn't it? So, as soon as I get that done, the first order of business will be, I guess, to take that seat out. Okay, got the brackets finished up on that bumper. Got the bumper totally mounted, completely mounted, and built a license plate bracket and put the license plate light in it. Now, the next thing we're going to try and figure out is why that speedometer is not working. So what I'm going to do is, since I'm here by myself, I'm going to have to put you guys up there in the cab and have you and send you up with lift and have you watch that speedometer. And I think I can spin that by hand, maybe fast enough to just make that needle twitch a little bit. I think I'll turn it counterclockwise and see if that needle will jump just a little bit. If it don't, well, I mean, I'll go both ways with it. But if it doesn't twitch at all, then, well, I don't know what's going on. Then the cable's broke in the middle or something, I guess. And I could probably be able to tell that when I spin it by hand. But yeah, I don't know if it's the cable or the little gears inside the transmission or the speedometer itself. I hope it's not the speedometer. That would be kind of a chore. But, you know, if it was easy, little girls would be doing it. So I'm gonna put you up there and we'll see what happens. Is it moving? Well, upon further investigation, I have discovered that, well, first of all, let me tell you, if you stand on your head, you can actually see up in there and see the back of that speedometer. I was shocked, but you can see it. And you can even reach it. It's not easy, but you can reach it. And what I discovered was the speedometer cable is not attached to the back of the speedometer. Why? I don't know. Was the guy going to replace it? Was it making noise? Is it broken? I don't know, but I plugged it back in just to see, because it's easy to plug and unplug. So I stuck it back on. I'm going to pick you guys back up in the air again, put you in the cab, and let you, and I'm going to spin it. I'm going to put it in a drill. I did the last time too. I don't know if you can hear it, but I had it in a drill. And I'm going to spin it around, and you guys watch that cable or watch the speedometer and see if it's moving. I will put it in a drill and spin it counterclockwise, and that should I should spin the needle a little bit. Yeah, let's take a look, see what we can figure out. Did it move? Well, I guess I'll just put the cable back on. I may find out why it was loose or why it was not attached. It may squeal or chatter or something. The one in my 73, it has a little spell every once in a while. It chatters. Sounds like a little squirrel in there. And I never have swapped it. Need to swap it out or shoot some graphite in it or something, but I don't drive it enough and it doesn't do it all the time, so I forget about it. Well, we'll see what happens. I'm going to change the oil sending unit, and other than that, I don't think there's much more I can do to this truck right now until I get those door panels in, except just drive it and enjoy it. And now that the speedometer's working, well, we think it's working. If it's working, we'll find out what kind of mileage it gets. It won't get too good because I live up on this mountain, and it's a 9.6% grade coming up here. That's pretty steep and takes some fuel. And yeah, elevation downtown's about 800. And I'm at 2,370, and make that climb in 5 miles. So the mileage won't be too good. But out on the road, could be interesting. We'll see. Okay, be sure and tune in next time and hear old Waylon say, "Ah, I'm gonna rip into this thing like a monkey on a cupcake." All right, guys, that'll do it for this time. To my family, I love you with all my heart. And to all you subscribers, I sure do appreciate you. And I mean that. We'll see you next time.